Well, let's bring in former State Department official David Tafuri, who works with Kurds in Iraq. They have some different interests in Syria. And also Fox News military analyst Colonel David Hunt. Since you're both Davids, I'll use Colonel for you, Colonel. Thank you both for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Hi.
All right, I want to read a joint statement from the top Democrats over on the Hill, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, reacting to this so-called ceasefire. They say the president's decision to reverse sanctions against Turkey for brutally attacking our Kurdish partners in exchange for a sham ceasefire seriously undermines the credibility of America's foreign policy. David?
Well, I just got off a plane from Iraq. I was there for the past 10 days. Just got back 4 hours ago. I was with the Kurds in Iraq, not in Syria, but I was adjacent to Syria. And the main topic of conversation was the attack by Turkey, which is unfortunate and tragic. We now have this ceasefire. Any ceasefire is welcome, but the terms of this one are concerning. Most significantly, they're concerning because they don't guarantee that Turkey won't do ethnic cleansing. The towns in this buffer zone that Turkey wants, many of them are Kurdish, and Turkey could easily move the Kurds out, push them out, and put in Arabs, and that would be a terrible humanitarian situation for everyone. It's also concerning that there's not enough in here to ensure that the U.S. and the Kurds can continue to fight ISIS. If we have to rely on Turkey to fight ISIS, we're in a really problematic situation, because many believe Turkey looked the other way when ISIS went into Syria, and Turkey is not going to combat ISIS. That's not really their aim. So the ceasefire is potentially problematic, and if Turkey doesn't even follow the basic terms in that ceasefire, we're really in trouble.
Well, the president has gotten a lot of bipartisan pushback and criticism on this decision. But listen, he has always talked about getting soldiers home from as many places as he could. He campaigned on that. He does have a few supporters here in Washington. One of them is Senator Rand Paul, known for his stand on foreign policy. He says this in an op-ed today: as we attempt to extricate ourselves in all these situations overseas, there's always a chorus of hawks who scream about what will happen when we leave. It usually happens if we stay anyway. He went on to ask, would you be willing to send your son or daughter to stand between two armies 7,000 miles away as a human shield? Colonel?
I'll tell you who's not willing to go. It's Rand Paul. That's an outrageous statement for him to make. Soldiers don't volunteer to go between two armies. They volunteer to serve the United States Army and get told, or Marines or whatever, it's all volunteer force, and they get sent there. That's ludicrous and tragically wrong. The problem we've got here is the last time we abandoned the Kurds, a great people, great fighting force, was in the Reagan administration. They lost 100,000 of their people. This is an abandonment of soldiers that fought for us. We lost 12 great soldiers the last 5 years in Syria. The Kurds lost between 11,000 and 18,000. It's already been said, but need to be emphasized. They were guarding 60,000 ISIS families and 10,000 fighters. They no longer can. And unfortunately, because of what the United States has just done, the Kurds have now made a deal with Syria and Russia. We can come out of Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. I get it, but it's not done in a vacuum. We have to leave a force to go back and kill terrorists. That force can be stationed anywhere. The nation building is what's caused all this trouble for 18 years, not the killing of terrorists. So we could bring soldiers back out of Syria, but never have given permission for Turkey to move, which is going to take about 100,000 square kilometer chunk out of northern Syria. That's a hell of a buffer zone.
Well, we'll watch and wait now as this administration vows there will be heavy repercussions if Turkey doesn't stick to this deal. The next few days are critical, of course. David and Colonel David, thank you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The president